Episode 97. To Mom with Love. Hi, Ma. I know your first reaction on getting this letter will be shock, then pleasant surprise, and then finally pure joy. I'm sure you also don't remember, Ma. When was the last time you got a letter from the mailman? I could have emailed this long message to you, but I wanted you to feel my handwriting, Ma, my words on the soft, fragrant paper, and imagine me to be standing right in front of you. As I write to you, I can visualize you, Ma, sitting in that armchair by the window, gently rocking yourself, reaching out for your specs in the right top drawer of the writing table, opening the pages of the letter, and first of all, glancing at my name at the bottom. And all this time, shedding quiet tears. I remember how you always used to tell us that old age descends on everyone, so be prepared for it. But you know what, Ma? Howsoever advanced you get in years, you always tend to remember your parents when they were in their youth. So, when I think of you, Ma, the first scene that flashes across from my memory bank is that of you chasing a stray dog with a stick in one hand and holding me on your waist with the other arm. Amay, our neighbor's son, had got so scared at the sight of you that for days together he had refused to offer food to all the stray dogs in our society. I also remember how you had stormed the society manager's office and had shouted so badly at him that from the next day itself, none of us saw any stray dogs inside the society premises. I know, Ma, you want me to fly back to India and be with you. I know you fear that you will leave this world without me by your side. But I know, Ma, that will never happen. You definitely have the strength to hold on to life for a little more time, till I finish my doctorate here and come back to you. I have doubled my shifts at the lab so that I get the results of my experiments as soon as possible. Then I will take the first flight and rush back to you, Ma. Bhaiya was telling me that you have become very frail in the last 2 years and you have lost the will to battle it out. I was honestly very surprised when I heard this because, Ma, you have always been the epitome of strength and courage for me. How can I ever forget that when Dad was diagnosed with cancer, you never panicked or cried or showed any signs of weakness. You just gathered us, told us that tough days are ahead and our workload at home will increase. It was then that I had learned how to make tea, how to put clothes in the washing machine and hang them out to dry later on. I remember how you would spend sleepless nights washing Dad, changing his diapers, checking his blood pressure every hour, measuring his glucose levels, cooking the special food for him and feeding him also. When Didi, Bhaiya and I would get up in the morning for school, we saw you working in the kitchen very normally, handing out our glasses of milk, packing some eatables for us, and beginning the first preparations of lunch. I don't remember a single day, Ma, when we came back from school and there wasn't any lunch ready for us waiting on the table. I thought that you will give up on your writing totally because the situation demanded your entire attention. But every afternoon I saw you sitting at the writing table by the window and filling out sheets and sheets of paper. I had no idea then that our money situation was very bad in those days. And you would pen out story after story for the local newspapers and radio stations to earn some extra money. I got to know of this when Rakesh Tauji had come to meet Papa. Vimla Bua and Rakesh Tauji both refused to sell our ancestral home, though they knew very well that we needed the money so badly. When you have taken all decisions on your own, then Ravi, you will have to face this situation too, all on your own. We were never consulted about children, their studies, their schools, whom to bring into the family and how to treat them. So don't expect us to agree to sell Babaji's house right now, because we will not get good money for it. You do have another flat, isn't it? So sell that now. Dad was so devastated when both his siblings refused to understand his situation. But I remember, Ma, how tall and erect you kept standing amidst this chaos. Bikhre Sapne. Your first novel was written in those difficult days. You never got to know, Ma, but I would sneak up to your desk and read your chapters. I fell in love with the character of Kusum. How she fought her way in life was a lesson to me. It was much later, when I was in college, that I suddenly realized one day that I always found the sheets of paper in perfect sequence, chapter after chapter. So you knew, Ma, that I was reading Kusum's life story. When it came to Didi and Bhaiya, I remember how strict you were with them. In fact, you were strict with all of us. But I always got a feeling that you were extra sensitive towards me. When Vimla Bua or Usha Taiji said something to Didi or Bhaiya, you never bothered to answer on their behalf. When Bhaiya had one day complained, you simply told him, "Ek kaan se suno, dusre se nikal do." But when the same Usha Taiji expressed her displeasure when I was going to Shimla on a college trip, I remember how you had exploded. उसको कुछ मत बोला करो भाभी, वो बच्ची है अभी, उसको दुनिया देखनी है एंड सीखना है. You don't raise questions on her character or integrity. She is my daughter and she knows very well how to conduct herself with the opposite gender. And then, Ma, I also remember how when I was taking guitar lessons from Macwan sir, there was this gang of boys near the NRI tower who would harass me every day and called me names. I had run home to complain to you, but you had made such a stern face and told me in the most chilling voice, "Go and fight those boys. Take Bhaiya's cricket bat if you want, but don't come running to me like a sissy. Ma is not going to be with you forever. Learn to fight and win your own battles. Now get lost. Come back again only after you have taught a lesson to those boys." I really couldn't decide then, Ma, if I was more scared of those boys or of your strict warning to me. But I knew from the tone of your voice that if I did not tackle those bunch of boys, you really wouldn't let me be. And then when I walked towards that gang of boys with the cricket bat in my hands, I was trembling. Out of fear of them or of you, I haven't been able to decide to this day. I remember how much Dad, Didi and Bhaiya had got angry at you for sending me to the wolves like this. But Ma, you never budged from your stand. For the first time, perhaps there was a fight in the family over me. Your bedroom door was closed, but I was able to hear the conversation taking place inside. She needs to learn to fend for herself, more than the two of you. She has to develop the courage to face such goons. I fear every day for her. Don't I know how keen Usha Bhabhi and Vimla Jiji are to tell her to keep her away from the family property, from us, from all of us? इन गली के लड़कों से डर जाएगी तो घर के भेड़ियों का सामना कैसे करेगी? I learned what courage is on that day. Courage is not scoring high in video games or writing long posts on social media about an issue. Courage means taking the bull by the horns, conquering our innermost fears, and confronting the ghosts that haunt us. I took a leap of life on that day, Ma. I knew that I would always have your back, come what may. So, Ma, someone who taught me so much of strength is definitely still very strong. You cannot weaken it all. You still have to hold my hand, look into my eyes and ask me very simply, सब ठीक है बेटा? When you are around, सब ठीक ही होता है माँ. I know, Ma, you are very scared that you will go away without getting a chance to speak to me and to tell me that I know you fear that if I get to know this from some other source, I will be devastated and shattered. But don't worry, Ma. I already know. I didn't want you to know that I've got to go. Well, I will be honest, Ma. It was very devastating initially. I too got entangled in the same questions that anyone in my situation would have faced. Was I abandoned? Was I left to die in an unknown place? Was I given up by my birth givers? If yes, why? And Ma, who am I to you? Why did you bring me home? Why did you give me a home? But as I asked more questions, Ma, the answers began to come up by themselves. You wouldn't have allowed your friend's child, after her untimely demise, to be brought up in a home where no one would have really cared for me or given me any love and warmth. You always had the courage, the guts to listen to your heart, without ever bothering about what the world had to say on this topic. Only someone with your vision of being just, of doing what is right, of trying your best to give an equal opportunity to everyone could have taken this bold step of adopting me and bringing me home. For me, therefore, home is where you are, Ma. I am coming back very soon, Ma. Till then, this letter will keep on reminding you that I continue to be as strong as you are. Like Kusum in your novel Never Gave Up, we won't as well. See you very soon, Ma, with lot of love.